Good evening and welcome to the channel, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Honda Hornet build. The Honda Hornet, which I'm going to turn into a Scrambler. Now I have to apologise for the noise outside. It's bonfire night tonight. It's November the 5th, so you might hear a few bangs. I'm hoping my noise cancellation on the microphone works, but anyway, I apologise if you can hear it. Anyway, let's get into the video. So this evening I'm going to do a few jobs on the bike, and I'm still in the process of just taking it apart and trying to work out what I'm going to do, what kind of tank I'm going to have on there. Before I start cutting all the frame off and doing that, I just need to understand the bike. I need to look over it and measure things. So I think in this episode we're going to get the tank off, have a look under there. That will give me a good idea of what kind of tank I can have on there, because I'm going to have to measure the tube that's down the middle, because I might see a tank but then if it doesn't fit I can't have it. So tank's going to come off. The airbox is going to come off tonight. Now I'm going to run pod filters on this. There'll be an episode where I'm going to have to reject the carbs and balance them. Running the pod filters is going to allow me to take this airbox off, which is taking up quite a lot of room in there. I mean, that's a massive plastic unit. But by taking this off, this is going to leave a big void in here. Now, my thinking is that I can have a box fabricated to shift everything from there, which was behind the side panel and under the seat, forwards into this new box here, like a, you know, a retaining box. So I don't know how much room I've got there until I take this airbox off. So if I can take the airbox off, the tank off tonight, that's going to be a really good idea to how I'm going to mount the new tank, what new tank I'm going to put on, and how I'm going to shift all these electrics up before I get that rear end cut off. Now I've got to get this tank off, and it's got a lot of fuel in there. This has been sat in a shed for, well, or a garage for 4 years before I got this bike, so the fuel's going to be pretty mank. So I've got an old jerry can down there, which I'm going to put the fuel in if it wants to come out of this tank. I've got to empty it anyway at some point, because obviously I'm not keeping the tank and I don't want to give it to someone else full of fuel. So let's get it off, work out where the fuel line is and try and drain it off into that can. Now it's just a 10mm bolt under there, I think. Let's get that off. I'm saving all the nuts and bolts because I'm sure I'm going to be able to use them further down the line, even though that tank's not going back on. So there's the overflow. Should be able to lift it backwards a bit. It does weigh a ton, to be fair. So now I'm snagging on something. What are we snagging on? So we've got the electric cable there for the fuel gauge, and that should come away. Aha, there we are. Sweet, that wasn't too bad actually. You can hear all that, listen. All that wasted fuel in there. We might find a job for that another day, cleaning parts up. So I'm not going to put the fuel in the other bikes, but I will use it to clean bits and bobs up as we go along, so it'll be quite handy. So that's the tank off the bike, and you can see the shape of the bike underneath. Now this is one of the reasons I wanted to do the Hornet. Other than the Hornet was my first bike, I've got a love for these things. The frame here, it's almost like a spine that runs down the back. It's not your obvious biker choice, I know that. There were some comments in the previous video which said exactly the same thing, and you're right. This bike as a standard bike was nowhere near a Scrambler. It was a pretty decent, you know, road bike, which is the challenge. It's the challenge I want, to turn something from like that into something completely different. But having that frame, that spine frame, really, in my opinion, is going to help me massively. I've just decanted all the fuel into a rather large 20-litre jerry can, so that'll be put away for something. I don't know, we'll be doing some cleaning with that. The tank that's come off it is available if anybody wants a Honda Hornet tank. It has got a bit of a dent on the side, but if someone wants it for their project, just drop me a message. You can come over to the Facebook page and we can work out a bit of a deal. I just did the same with the rear end plastics. A subscriber called Ryan messaged me saying he really wants the rear plastics on the bike. We'll come up with a bit of a deal. He's bought those off me. I've now sent that to him, and that's amazing. So thank you for buying that off me, and that money will go straight back into the project. I don't have a huge budget for this project. So like I say, it's just a winter toy, something to keep me entertained, keep you guys entertained. But there isn't an endless budget, so any bit of money that I could make by selling the parts that I take off really will help. Now the next job's going to get this airbox off. You can see how much room that airbox is taken up. That's all of that in there. Like I say, the pod filters I'm going to use are only going to take up this amount of room, so I've got all that free. But I've got to work out, really, you've got to be careful, and this is what I've got to be careful of taking this bike apart, that I understand what I'm taking off and what does what. So let's just get these things out of the way. Cool, it hasn't been serviced for a while. You can see in there the breathers are absolutely filthy. Just want to get enough room to get this airbox clear, and then we can work out what we need and what we don't need as far as pipe work goes up here. First job, I'm going to loosen these clamps up around the carbs themselves. Everything's so rusty on this bike when you delve into it a little bit more. See, it's 21 years old, so it's seen a fair bit of weather in its time. But like I said in the previous video, it's not that bad considering the age of the bike. It's been pretty well looked after. Got the worst screwdriver in the world on this. That's the inlets released. I'm going to release the pipes that connect the aha. Now, I've got to work out actually how the airbox itself is bolted on. I've got it loose from the carbs. I'm sure it must have a fixing somewhere. By the looks of it, this airbox can only come out one way. So as far as I'm aware, the airbox is loose, but it's in there tight. That's like, how does that come out? Now, there is this, obviously this cover to change the air filter here. I need to take that off to undo a bolt, and hopefully all the airbox will just slide out nice and easy this way. Ah, looks all right. Air filter don't look too bad whatsoever. Again, not using it, so it will go somewhere safe. I'm actually looking forward to this coming off to see what it looks like with it missing. Hey, that wasn't so bad, was it? There we go. One airbox. I thought that was going to be a right mission to get that off, but not so bad whatsoever. Just going to chuck this camera on for you. You'll see when you sort of do one thing. This is always gets me on a project. When you do one thing, you find other things. Now, to me, that is really untidy. All those tubes and cables. Now the air filters are off. You can see I've got this big void here. That looks unsightly, and I don't want that. As I say, this isn't going to be some sort of prestige build where it's going to be winning shows, but I want to do it the best I can, and if I can tidy that area up, then I will. But a lot of this does go up to the gear here, which is everything that's got to move because the subframe is being cut. From there, it's being cut down there, and then that's a new subframe from there backwards. So everything I've got here, I don't want there. I want that to be all empty, you see. So this is what I was saying in the first part of the video. I'm potentially going to move all this into some sort of custom built, maybe stainless steel box here, bolted to the frame, and hide it all in there. And, you know, if that box looks pretty good, then I'll leave it. But again, we'll look at that later down the line. I'm going to be taking all this off in the next episode to see where I can put it, really. So now the tank is off, it's given me a real good look at the bike, and it's given me a real good feel of what it's going to look like visually. And I say I don't know what tank I've got on there yet. I haven't bought one, so but what I can work out just by taking that off, and in my opinion, it's one of the most important things when you're doing a project like this, when you're customizing a bike, is lines. The lines have got to be right, and they have only got to be right in my opinion. I've got to love it. It might be different for somebody else, but I think symmetry on a bike and having the lines correct is so important. If I was just to put a tank on that subframe now and follow the line that it's got and then put a flat rear end on, you know, like a scrambler rear end, that's not going to look right. I'm going to have to get a tank and then tip the back up, because the scrambler look is almost in a line that way. When you look at a scrambler bike, they kind of go up, whereas the Hornet, the tank went down, the seat went up. That's not the look I'm going for. So it's given me a real good feel of how I can mount that tank and get that rear end looking correct in the right line. Now I'm going to chuck a question to you guys, and I want your opinion, and you can put it in the comments below. Now I've had a thought this week. One of my jobs up here is to change the fork seals to get the front end mechanically right. And I've held off buying the fork seals because I've had this thought this week, and I don't know whether I'm just kind of get a bit above my stations. I don't have an endless budget on this bike, so whether it's going to cost too much, I don't know. I'm not worried about how much work it's going to take. It's more about the cost. Now, my thoughts are actually just scrapping that front end, scrapping the forks and getting some longer forks on there, maybe some crosser forks, or, you know, forks like are on my Cross Tourer where they're just a bit longer, more travel, more scrambler looking, and then changing the rear shock. So I've got a taller rear shock, kick the back of the bike up, and it just looks higher off the ground like a scrambler. I think that'll look absolutely brilliant. It just comes down to whether I can get another front end that's going to fit here without too much fabrication and the cost. But give me your opinions in the comments whether you think I should change the front end and actually jack the bike right up, because I'm toying with the idea. Now, in the next episode, I'll be visiting a Bike Breakers. It's owned by a very good friend of mine, and he's basically given me full run of the place and said, look, Paul, I know you're doing the Honda Hornet project. I think I've got a Honda Hornet in there. If not, I've got some CBs that will probably have similar parts. Help yourself. So in the next episode, I'm going to take you guys down to his breakers yard, and we'll have a great rummage through there and see what he's got, and potentially get some parts for this. I need the rear caliper, and if we can find a front end, and I will speak to Ian. He's a great guy to know and to chat to, and he will tell me whether that's feasible, whether that front end will go on there or not. But wouldn't it be great if we could find something for that and a new rear shock and really jack this thing right up? Well, I'm going to leave it there. It's getting quite late now. I just want to say thank you to everybody that watches our videos, and especially the last video I did of this, sort of episode 1. I wasn't too sure of the response I was going to get off this project, and we got some great views on the last video and some really good comments and some great advice. So I just want to thank everybody that took the time to watch that last video and give me some encouragement to carry on with the build and give me some ideas. So yeah, thank you everybody. It really does mean a lot. And I will try and do this bike justice and you justice by putting the videos up. I would like your feedback. If I'm rambling on too much, or I'm not doing enough on the bikes, or I'm not putting enough videos out, I'm going to do this project anyway over the winter. I'm putting them on YouTube for you guys to enjoy. So I want your feedback, and just tell me if I can make the videos better, shorter, stop talking, whatever. It's the first time I've done a project on YouTube. So yeah, I'm quite new to it. So yeah, just give me your feedback on that. Until then, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, because you'll be notified when more videos of this Hornet come up. There'll be plenty over the winter. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please subscribe to our channel, and that's going to help us build it and make more videos in the future. Cheers.